And you missed.
You were right. I missed.
Much experience of them?
I shot one maybe 20 years ago.
Okay.
Once.
Oh! Look at that. You got it. So we have a hard steel, tri-formed, hollow ground, super sharp point, aka nastiness.
Yep.
We are going to take a modern 21st century compound bow and try and defeat a 15th century breastplate. So this is a custom made bow by EK Archery, especially for Joe. So the challenge is, can Joe draw what I believe to be a world record beating bow? Hi, it's Todd from Todd's Workshop and Todd Cutler here, and have we got a film for you today? Joe Gibbs, you'll be familiar with him if you watch this channel, the most amazing traditional archer I know. Regularly shoots 160-pound longbows in a way that looks effortless to me. Numbers I can't even dream about. But today, everything changes. Joe Gibbs goes modern. So this is a custom-made bow by EK Archery, especially for Joe. It is a whopping 130 pounds draw weight, significantly more than any other compound bow I know. I just can't even imagine it. In fact, actually, you know what? Check this out. And that is my lot. So I can't draw this. So the challenge is, can Joe draw what I believe to be a world record beating bow? But of course, even attempting to shoot a bow like this isn't a one-day story. About a year ago, Jorg Sprav,
let me show you its features.
who works really closely with EK Archery, contacted me. And he asked if I would like to make a film with Joe about the world's heaviest compound bow. After a millisecond, Joe and I went, yeah, of course. And this was the result. So Joe came to visit so I could hand over the bow and we could talk through the project. And well, this is what happened. EK Archery, 130-pound compound bow, specially been made for you.
Oh, fantastic.
Do you feel honoured?
I do a bit, actually.
Which I am not going to give you.
Oh, no.
But there's a very good reason for this. So I'm sure you are going to have a fantastic time with this. But my worry, and I'm guessing probably your worry as well, is that this is so different to what you're used to shooting.
The main concern for me is where the maximum draw weight is. Yeah. Because with a longbow, it's sort of right back here. It's on your back muscles. That's pretty much your strongest position is there.
And that's sort of 28, 29 inch draw, something like that.
Yes, sort of 30. And whereas this is at 20, 21, which is probably the weakest part of your draw.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely gonna test me, I reckon.
So the first question is, have you ever shot a compound bow before?
Once, about 20 years ago.
Right. So that's not great. Have you ever used a string release before?
Never used one of these. Never even held one before.
Right. Okay, so bit of an uphill struggle here, and this is why what I don't want to do, and I think you don't want to do, is just go straight into trying to shoot 130 pound. So what I have here is just a bow that I had kicking around in the workshop, but it's 65, 70 pound draw weight, so easy for you to manage. You know. But you need a release for it. The dynamic's going to be the same, so I'm going to say get practicing on that one.
Okay.
And then when you feel good, then you can come back to us with the one from EK Archery.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I think we should go down the range with this very normal compound bow and your longbow, and we'll just have a look at how you shoot. And that will then, give us some understanding of what you're going to be facing with this thing. Perfect, let's do it. Yeah. So I think what's really important now is to see how you shoot, because your style is very, very different to a modern archer's style. So put a couple of arrows down target and then we'll just talk about it.
Yep. With heavy longbows, you're doing everything you can to try and engage as many muscles in your body as you can. Basically, everything from your sort of neck downwards is involved in shooting heavier bows. So you'll see me with my bum stuck out, and when I'm shooting, this is to help engage all the back muscles.
Like, I may add, the original manuscript pictures from the 14th, 15th century. You see that a lot.
Yeah, and so this isn't a technique that I haven't copied this technique. My body's adopted that technique to shoot heavy bows, and it just happens to be exactly the same one they used 500 years ago.
They had exactly the same bodies.
Exactly. So I'll just talk through it a little bit.
Yeah.
So sort of legs roughly shoulder width apart, In my case, I have my sort of right hand leg slightly further back. Just helps with the shoulder angles for this shoulder and stuff. And I'll start up very high in the draw, which helps engage all your sort of your upper back muscles.
Not the very sort of straight draw of a modern target archer.
No.
You know, I was taught straight line between fist and elbow
Yeah.
all the time.
So there's only a few limited muscles involved in that one. I tell you what I'll do is I'll try and draw this bow like that just to show you. I won't shoot it, and you'll be surprised how far I can't get the bow.
So yeah, I can see from the shake that
So up high, and my elbow will come over my head.
yeah.
Because if you just draw down, you'll just be stuck here like this. So up over the head, back as far as you can, down, and shoot.
All right. So in fact, that bow that you're shooting is more powerful than this one from EK Archery. But everything about it is entirely different.
Yes.
So what immediately feels different about that?
So this has what looks to be like a pistol grip shape.
Yeah.
Whereas the longbow obviously doesn't. It's very straight and flat.
Yeah. So your wrist will be in a different
Yeah.
position.
So instead of my wrist being up like this, it's going to be more straight.
Yeah.
We'll have a different sort of pressure angle on my wrist. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Yeah, and it's going to be interesting with that draw. I think that sort of that peak draw at 21 inches. When shooting a longbow, it's always in the back of your mind it's going to break.
Right.
And when it does, you're sort of normally most of the way at full draw and it suddenly snaps and everything's gone. I think it might feel the same with this. You know, you're putting everything into it, and then suddenly it's all going to be gone.
Right.
It's going to be unnerving, I think, for the first sort of few arrows.
All right.
But,
It wouldn't surprise me at all if you completely missed that target, actually,
me neither.
because it's going to be your aim point. Joe's aim point is going to be very different on this.
Yeah.
So that's going to take some getting used to as well. So I think have a little play with that.
Okay.
Knock up an arrow. Do something.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Right. Got to keep my thumb out of the way. Oh.
And you missed.
You were right. I missed. Oh dear.
I bet that's a rare day for you these days.
Yeah.
I would love to say that I'm going to take that out of the film, but I'm not. The other thing, don't forget that these arrows are the arrows for the EK bow. So they are sluggish as you like. So they are not the typical arrows for that bow.
Oh, it's so
Right.
light. So light, that trigger.
Really?
Yeah.
And I've made it as heavy as it'll go. Do you want to rethink doing this film? So it sounds like that I'm taking the mick out of Joe, and I kind of am. But this, sorry, but this is actually the point, is the technology here is so alien for him that, you know, it's going to take a while to get used to it. So today is not the day for the EK bow.
No, Karen, no, definitely not.
So we have some work to do. Well, more to the point, actually, I don't have any work to do because I'm just handing it over to Joe.
I'm completely out of my depth with what we're doing here.
Right.
So, like you say, we're going to have to go back. I'm almost going to have to go back to square one
Yeah.
and learn how to shoot these things before even attempting to shoot anything off of that.
So that's fine. But this will be your new toy in 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Looks great.
Good luck. See you in a few months.
Thank you.
Cheers. Joe,
Hi, Todd.
welcome.
Thank you.
Again. Thank you for taking this challenge on. It's absolutely brilliant. And so, I mean, the first question really is, how did you get on with compound bow technology? Because new world for you.
Yeah, well, it's very different, isn't it? So the first thing was the trigger release, actually, getting used to, you know, pushing the button and the string going instead of having the mechanical loose as such, you know, like this. But then the big one was the draw weight of that, the monster.
Just trying to get into that.
Yeah, getting into.
Well, we'll see how you do with that later on.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I think you need to warm up, and it would be good for us to see you shooting. So, got a lovely little bow here, an Axis bow from EK Archery. Mm-hmm. So this is the baby version of what your big one is based on.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay.
if you want to take it away,
Yep.
put some arrows down range. And before we go on, actually, I think I have to say this film has been sponsored by EK Archery. But equally, they've allowed us to do an amazing thing. So thank you very much, EK. Right, take it away. Just
Okay.
shoot a little bit and see how you get on.
So,
I mean, you look confident in a way that you were not when I first gave you that bow.
yeah. So, more comfortable with the trigger release, sort of clicking that on the string, and with these, the arrows is much higher on your hand, on the arrow rest.
Oh, so your sight line's a bit different.
Yeah, so your sight line's different. So, it's just little things like that, really. So, yeah, when I first started 4 months ago, I missed the first arrow missed, didn't it?
Yeah,
Obviously now,
I think possibly even the second and third.
maybe.
Let's not talk about that.
But I'm a lot more comfortable with
Yeah,
the whole thing now. So
brilliant.
yeah,
I think there's nothing else for it. Can't put it off any longer, Joe.
should we do it?
Let's do it. So, first up, let's put that one away and then get the Superbow out. Now, this is actually the same bow riser, but what they did was they didn't mill all the cutouts. There it is. But the first thing to do is go and weigh it.
Okay,
Let's go.
let's go.
We need to weigh our modified Axis bow by EK Archery to find out exactly how heavy it is. So we've got up here a crane scale listed in pounds, and we've got the compound bow. Joe's going to pull it down, but of course it comes to the peak, it comes to the lump. So that's the point where we're going to see the highest loading, and hopefully I'm going to be able to catch it with my eye. If not, it's going to be on camera anyway. And then it's going to drop off. So, Joe, pull it down. Let's see what we've got. Nice, slow and steady.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll go slow.
Okay, we're at 128, 131, 131. So, maximum on that, 131.
Cool.
How do you feel about shooting that now?
Nervous.
Yeah, I would be. So, Joe, 131 pounds.
That's a lot of draw weight.
It's a lot of bow. Small size, lot of bow.
Yeah.
So, this is the regular compound arrow that you were shooting before.
Yep.
24 grams, 380, 400 grain, something like that.
Yeah.
But that's not going to do for this. It needs more resistance, basically.
Yep.
So we have gone for a much heavier arrow, and that is this one here, weighing in at 1,700 grains, 110 grams. So
Wow.
4 and a bit times the weight of that one.
That is an evil looking point.
And it is an evil looking point, and there's a good reason for the evil looking point. So we have what we think is a world beating bow here,
Okay.
right? World record setting bow. If we're going to do that, we may as well have an interesting target. So we're going to pull our knight out. So proper medieval breastplate. Let's go for that, because you have not yet got an arrow through that. So now is our moment. So it's ridiculous and utterly pointless, but we are going to take a modern 21st century compound bow and try and defeat a 15th century breastplate, just because. And if we're going to do that, then we need the head to do the job. So we have a hard steel, tri-formed, hollow ground, super sharp, very pointy point, aka nastiness.
Yep.
Right. All yours.
Thank you. Look at that. Super.
And
And the bow.
all yours.
Thank you. Well, I'm excited to see one, if I can do it, and two, what it
Have
would
every
do.
faith, Joe. Right, take it away.
Hold on. I didn't like that. That arrowhead came back inside the...
It did. So, Joe, I cannot believe what just happened there. So, you drew the bow, you drew the 131 pound monster, and you backed out.
Yeah.
For very good reason, I may add. Mostly my stupidity. What happened?
So, yeah, basically the arrow came almost back inside the arrow rest, and I just wasn't confident in letting that one go.
Yeah. Wise choice.
Yeah.
I made our new fancy super arrowhead and then didn't actually see if it lined up on the bow or not. Anyway, it didn't. So I've made an extension now, 25mm 1-inch extension, brings it forward, changes the weight. So we are back on now with 127 grams, which is about 1960 grains, something like that. Just under 2,000 grains of arrow. Still a monster.
Yep.
Still haven't shot it. Take it away, Joe.
Let's try again.
Oh, but brilliant. First ever, world's first shot.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Oh, that was absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic.
Felt good.
So, well, the rather obvious is the breastplate was missed. Wow, well that is certainly out the back, isn't it?
Definitely.
So, I mean, that's the thing about this bow, is the arrow speed is never going to be that much faster, simply because, you know, the return rate of the springs, the retraction rate, is going to be the same with whatever that bow design is.
Yep.
But what it can do is shift mass.
Yeah.
And that's an arrow which is, what, 4.5 times the weight of a regular one? It
Wow.
shifted it. And the momentum, impact energy, it's going to be massive compared.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But what is also awesome, Joe, let's not forget what you have just... Oh, yeah. What you have just done, which is, as far as I know, a world record for a compound bow.
Yeah, that's ace. Thank
That's
you
not a
very
bad
much.
thing to do.
No, it's good. That's good.
So fantastic.
Yeah.
Right, well, let's go back to the bench, work out.
Okay.
What's next?
Yep.
So, Joe, you did it. You
Yes.
absolutely did it, which is just brilliant. But you didn't hit the breastplate.
Nope.
It's so easy for me to criticise.
Yeah, it
But
is actually.
so we're going to go for a second shot. How many shots have you got in you today? Because I mean, that is obviously a killer.
Not loads. That the second one felt a lot harder than the
really?
first one.
Okay.
So
All right. Okay.
we'll just see.
So we've set up a chronograph. We put a meter marker so we can frame count the film as well. So
Okay.
one way or another, we're going to get the speed of this thing.
Okay.
Take it away.
Okay.
Oh! And you know what? That went through.
Did it?
That went through. But the other thing is, we'll see it on slow-mo, I'm sure, that arrow was going crazy.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Right,
strange.
well, put that down. Let's go and have a look.
Got it.
You got it at last. So in the 3.5 years of trying to put a hole in that breastplate, today was that day.
Jeez.
Oh,
Look at that.
so that
Wow.
is up at the... Oh, excellent. We didn't lose it. And that is up at the 2.5mm thick section, something like that. So, well done. I'm going to do it again.
Thank you.
Well done on the bow. Well done on the breastplate.
Yeah. Look at that.
Brilliant. And we've
Wow.
lost a tiny bit of
Yeah.
point. Oh, that is just fantastic. That is fantastic. So completely irrelevant to everything, except good to see. Finally done.
Finally.
How did you feel about that though?
That one was hard work.
Was it?
But I'm so happy that I hit this because I was really wanted to hit
Yeah,
this.
Yeah.
Desperate to hit that.
I was desperate for you
Yeah.
to hit that too. Fantastic. So we did it. And you know what I didn't do though? I didn't even bother looking if we had speed.
I
Actually.
don't think it registered.
Oh, really?
No, it didn't.
We can frame count. It won't happen today, but we
Okay.
can count the frames and we'll post up what the actual arrow speed
Yeah.
was.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's go back to base and work out what the next is.
Okay.
So Joe, again, I'll say it again, amazing achievement to do that. So really well done. But of course I just want to see more, I'm greedy. So, this is what we've been talking about.
Yep.
This is a massively heavy arrow, at whatever it was, 1900 grains or something. And it's heavy because it's safety, basically. It's a prototype bow, you know, it's everything's unknown about this.
Yep.
Loads of momentum, loads of energy, brilliant. So what we've got here is a field point on one of these same heavy shafts. So these are actually lined with aluminium, in fact, as well. So this is coming in at about 79 grams,
Okay.
something like that. So I think we're going to try and get ourselves a speed again. And what I'll say, we got a chrono out, but it failed last time. We're frame counting. So we don't know what the speeds are. But by the time this film gets edited and everything, there'll be a little banner there saying what the speeds are. So that's the way it is. Joe, take it away.
Okie dokie.
But did we get a reading? No
No
reading.
reading either.
Chronos. Any chronograph manufacturers out there want to sponsor me? I'm well up for it. This weird little cut where suddenly it's leapt to me and Joe holding longbows is illustrating a point. This is our technology. Amazingly, and I take full credit for it, I mounted the whisker biscuit on the wrong side of the bow, and that was what the arrow length problems were. We've adjusted that now. I feel even more stupid than I did before. Let's carry on with the film. I know, you're going to rib me so hard for this, sorry. Right, Joe, apologies, moving on.
That's good.
So, Joe, now that I have confessed to my gross stupidity, one last time,
Okay,
79 gram arrow, take it away.
let's give it a go.
Frustration,
Very frustrating.
just to the side of the head.
Yes.
But again, I mean, brilliant. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what, 79 gram arrow, and that was lightning
That was
fast.
shifting, yeah.
So let's call it a day on
Okay.
the Superbow, Joe. But let's not forget what has been achieved here, which is, as far as I know, tell me if you know different, but as far as we know, the world's heaviest compound bow has just been shot on camera for you and put a hole in a 15th century breastplate. But what would be interesting is to compare that with a regular bow.
Okay.
So we've got a 70 pounder. So I think if we draw, just for interest's sake, we'll draw that arrow again and we'll shoot that one off this and
Okay.
get a speed. And then we'll do the regular 24 gram arrows and black the hell out of that breastplate.
Sounds fun. Let's do it. I got a reading that time.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
What did we get?
168.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I wouldn't mind having a second bash at that
Yeah.
one. Just
I think you should.
Yeah.
Anyway, between you and me, I just want to see these arrows explode on the breastplate.
Would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Another go.
One more. Right. This is the one.
Yeah, you're going to go for another go on that breastplate.
Oh, I'm in the mail.
Yeah,
Let's have a look.
nice. Well, yeah. So 2 layers of mail and the archery foam, which is basically about as retentive as ballistic gel from
Okay.
previous things. So anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Ah, you've just found that thing about mail. It really catches on arrows.
Yeah, that's not coming out.
It's really not coming out,
No.
is it?
That one's really not coming out.
So we basically would have to cut. Well, let's twist, I don't know. Can you give it a turn while we pull? Yeah, no, it's feeling.
You're going to wreck that
It's
arrow.
absolutely wrecking the arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's there.
Okay.
Right. So 79 gram arrow again, 70 pound Axis compound bow. Yes! Brilliant.
At last.
At last. Question is, what did it do?
Where did it get it? This is it here, isn't it?
No, that's an old one. I don't even know where it got it. Sort of like one of these ones, really. Something quite unexciting.
Oh, this?
Maybe that. It did go that way,
Yeah,
so
I
maybe
think
it's
this.
that one. Regular 24 gram arrows, 70 pound compound bow. Oh, 289. That is rapid.
That went for his visor, that one.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Nice. Just under the V by the look of that. You know what, though? I'm disappointed, Joe.
Why?
I thought we'd get like this big cloud of dust with the carbon fibre going
Yes.
everywhere. And it's just sort of snapped off the end.
I'd have loved that. That was nice, that one.
Shall we go up and have a look?
Yeah, go on then.
That was, I mean, that was a proper solid, full-on, no messing hit, wasn't it? I mean, it's
I
hard
think
to
it
say.
was this one here.
Mm.
That little one there.
I mean, in many respects, they're quite unspectacular strikes compared to what we used to see.
Yep.
But I guess there's very low momentum, or
Okay, yeah,
comparatively.
of course.
Not last one, Joe?
I was going for his head.
Oh, were
Let's
you?
do that again, yeah.
You are going to get that headshot, aren't you?
I really want it. Oh! Look at
And
that.
you got it. Ah, well. Field points. Don't underrate them, huh? Wow.
Oh, look at that.
Nicely done. So for the record, it's about 1.6, 1.8 mil
Okay,
mild steel there.
still cool though.
Let's see if we can. Oh, yes. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's pretty cool.
Popping back together again. So this is what happens when you shoot a modern field point at a breastplate. That gets driven up into the shaft, opened up, but weirdly, all of them, the knock has broken off the end as well. Some sort of shockwave thing or something, I don't know. So Joe, thank you so much. Unofficial world record, world's heaviest compound bow. Well done.
Thank you.
How do you feel? Stiff?
Yeah, it's tired. No, it's been great to have the opportunity to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. What I found fun about this whole thing is the challenge of changing my training to be able to draw this type of bow. So kind of refreshing to try something new.
New challenge.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
And it is
I've
a
loved
challenge.
that. Yeah, it really
Let's face
is.
it, I managed to do that. But it's a very good point as well. Thank you so much to Jorg's Brav and EK Archery for setting this up and providing the bows for it. Obviously couldn't have been done without. The data table is going to be very interesting as well. Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to get readings, so I'm going to come back at the end of this film and I'll talk our way through the data table. But the little bits we've got have shown to be very interesting, actually. So there's definitely something worth watching at the end of this on the data. But the other thing is a really intriguing possibility here. And these bows, these compound bows, are incredibly efficient. They really are. And part of that efficiency means that you can draw it back and you can then have the drop off where it lets off. You've still got loads of power left to deliver the energy in the shot. Brilliant. But the drop off allows the accuracy and it allows you to hold the shot and take your aim. You don't shoot like that. Now, if you took the efficiency of a compound bow and you turned that into a straight line draw all the way through without a drop off, I think you might not have that loss of energy that you get after the drop off, and you might end up with a more powerful bow. and one which you can shoot. Nobody else on the planet can shoot, but you will be able to shoot. And that is really interesting to me, because I think you could take what is clearly an incredibly powerful bow and actually make it more shootable for you, and even more powerful. More power, more speed, more energy, more penetration, more everything. So I don't know whether we're ever going to be able to arrange that, but my goodness, I'd love to see it. And if we could,
That it does sound amazing. So if that can be done, I'd be well up for giving that a go.
so your mere 131 pound compound bow could get replaced with 160
Exactly,
or
yeah.
170.
Yeah.
And that's a world record. But nonetheless, unofficial world record, 131 pounds.
Thank you very much.
My goodness, what an achievement.
Thank you.
Thank you, York, for arranging it. Thank you, EK Archery. Thank you, Joe, for actually doing the work. I just did the talking.
Oh, thank you.
See you again another time. Don't forget, got the data tables coming up. Hi, back again. So looking at the data table, I'm not going to go through it point by point. That would be dull. But there are two standout aspects that really spoke to me. And if you would like to discuss them in the comments, that would be great. So the first one is, this is a vastly powerful bow, far more powerful than any other compound that I know of. And so when the project was first proposed to me, I had visions that it would shoot incredibly fast over incredible distances. But in fact, it's not the case, for two very good reasons. The bow limbs can only return at a maximum speed, however light the arrow. And besides that, it needs a heavier arrow to dampen the system down and to keep the bow safe. So what it means is it can shoot heavy arrows at basically the same speed as a lighter compound can do. So in this case, the Superbow will shoot 75 gram arrows at basically the same speed that a 70 pound compound bow shoots 24 gram arrows. 3 times the weight at the same speed. And that is a massive increase in energy, massive increase in momentum. The other standout aspect for me was about the draw weight. So the weight of the Superbow was the same as Joe's medieval longbow, but it delivers more than twice the energy and buckets more momentum. But it is still not enough to take out our medieval knight. It didn't go through the breastplate. Penetrated, didn't pass through. So even though the Superbow by EK Archery is enough to shoot through an elephant, it is not enough to take out a knight on a medieval battlefield with a chest shot. Discuss. But before you go, Joe Gibbs, what an amazing performance with the most powerful compound bow that I know about. Thank you and goodbye.